yesterday on the Super Chat Marathon live stream, so yesterday, Sunday, I talked about Biden being ahead in Pennsylvania, whereas Trump won Pennsylvania for the first time for a Republican since, I believe, the 80s. And Biden is now ahead in Pennsylvania by 6 points. So I said yesterday, let's not get too comfortable. I still think Trump has a chance to pull it off. There's a lot of time between here and November. I don't think the Biden campaign can be hubristic enough, or they shouldn't be overly hubristic and thinking like they have this in the bag. And Biden fans and Biden supporters and anyone who plans on voting for Biden shouldn't get comfortable. Should definitely try to get out the vote if that's the team they're on. So today, this came out in the Hill poll. Biden leads Trump by 4 points in Ohio. Presumptive Democratic nominee Joe Biden has a 4-point lead over President Trump in Ohio, according to a new poll. The survey, conducted by Your Voice Ohio, a news media collaboration in the state, found Biden at 46% and Trump at 42%. The survey also found Biden's supporters are more enthusiastic about, what does it say? Oh, 4 points, yeah. The survey also found Biden's supporters are more enthusiastic about voting for the former vice president. 31% said they strongly support Biden, compared to 26% of Trump supporters who said they strongly support the president. Most national polls have found Trump benefiting from an enthusiasm gap over Biden, which is no surprise. The poll, which was reported by The Blade in Toledo, was conducted by the Ray C. Bliss Institute of Applied Politics at the University of Akron and the Center for Marketing and Opinion Research in Akron. No Republican has ever been elected or re-elected in American history without carrying Ohio, so there's a particular burden on Trump and his allies and supporters to compete effectively in Ohio. So here we go. Trump won Ohio by 8 points in 2016, and most Democrats did not enter the cycle believing the state would be in play for 2020. However, the Trump campaign has spent hundreds of thousands of dollars advertising in Ohio, a sign that it views the Buckeye state as competitive. Several recent polls have found Biden ahead of or running even with Trump in Ohio, including a Fox News survey from June that found Biden leading by 2 points. Ohio has 9 counties that voted for President Obama in 2012 and then flipped to Trump in 2016, making it the state with the 7th most pivot counties in the country. The Your Voice Ohio poll of 1,037 registered voters was conducted between June 24th and July 15th and has a 3 percentage point margin of error. So, thoughts on this? Biden fans in Ohio or whatever, whoever's going to vote for Biden, don't get your hopes up. He's only 4 points ahead. With such a disaster of a president, let's bring up Hillary's point for 2016. Why aren't I 50 points ahead? I think it's not even far enough away from the margin of error, which they said was 3 for this particular poll. It's not even far enough away from that to be at all confident. And other polls have found them about even. In a lot of cases, the polling's margin of error, depending on the poll, is between 4 points and 5 points. So nothing is guaranteed here. And I think what we're starting to see on the Trump end is a pivot. He's starting to see the writing on the wall that if he wants to keep those swing states that he surprisingly won in 2016, he needs to start appealing to working class voters. He did this in 2016 by telling a lot of lies and making people believe that he was with the working class, which he of course wasn't. But now we've seen some changes. We've seen some tweets from him. We've seen some comments from him that are starting to look like he's appealing to everyday working class Americans, perhaps in a way that Biden can't or won't. So let's see something Trump said today. So this is a recording from The Hill. Breaking: President Trump says he'll stop evictions. I'll do it myself if I have to. As you know, evictions are a major problem right now. There are a lot of people Let me open up my account and show you this graph that I had to ask for yesterday. There are a lot of people, a surprising amount of people who are probably going to be evicted very, very soon. Let me find this graph where I asked. Here we go. So the wonderful Beth Lynch found this graph and shared it with me. So here from CNET are renter households unable to pay rent and at risk of eviction as a share of total renter households. Look at this graph. West Virginia, 59% of renter households. New York, 46%. Can you believe this? Just look at all of these numbers. Texas, 48%. Florida, 51%. My state of Maryland, 42%. As you go through this chart, I've shared it with a couple people, and people just widen their eyes in shock when they see these numbers. Horrifying. So here's what Trump says he's going to do about it.
The fact that I'm not over there with Crazy Nancy? No, I'm totally involved. I'm totally involved. And we're going to be doing some things that are very good because we don't think that look, what Chuck Schumer wants more than anybody, and I would say Nancy Pelosi would be second. They want to bail out cities and states that have done a bad job over a long period of time. Bail out cities and states. They want bailout money. They want $1 trillion in bailout money. And a lot of people don't want to do that because we don't think it's right. The Democrats have run some very bad states and some very, very bad cities. And a lot of people don't want to give them $1 trillion to reward them for doing a bad job. If you look at some of the states, I won't insult anybody by naming those states, but you know what they are. They want bailout money. They're not interested in the people. They're not interested in unemployment. They're not interested in evictions, which is a big deal, the evictions. They want to evict. A lot of people are going to be evicted, but I'm going to stop it because I'll do it myself if I have to. I have a lot of powers with respect to executive orders, and we're looking at that very seriously right now. But what the Democrats want, they're slow rolling it, and all they're really interested in is bailout money to bail out radical left governors and radical left mayors like in Portland and places that are so badly run. Chicago, New York City, you see what's going on over there. Bail out cities and states who have been poorly run and spent a fortune doing it. They want $1 trillion, and we're really not interested in that.
Okay, so there you heard Donald Trump saying he's going to do something about evictions. He's going to use his presidential powers to do something about evictions. He would, of course, like Congress to do it, but he said no matter what, he's going to do something. There you go. It's yet another example of him, even if he doesn't mean it, trying to appeal to all of those people, in some cases, half of renters in certain states. He's trying to appeal to those people who are facing eviction. We'll see what Trump continues to do, if he continues to pivot, if he really is smart enough and his team is smart enough to understand how important the working class are. And that he can't just continue to cater to the wealthy and the corporations. So kind of interesting. We'll see how it plays out. Definitely don't get comfortable thinking Biden's going to win. I think that's a huge mistake. Anything could happen. So let's hold on for the ride, I guess. So here's a tweet from Donald Trump to kind of show you maybe he's not exactly being truthful or honest about his intentions about stopping evictions. So on July 29th, Trump had tweeted, "I am happy to inform all of the people living their suburban lifestyle dream that you will no longer be bothered or financially hurt by having low-income housing built in your neighborhood. Your housing prices will go up based on the market and crime will go down. I have rescinded the Obama-Biden AFFH rule. Enjoy." Oh, Trump. Maybe you didn't make your pivot soon enough. There he is, catering to white, wealthy people. This is not even a dog whistle of racism. This is just straight up racism and classism. Always remember, Trump is a liar. Trump doesn't mean anything he says. He is a good PR person though, so let's see how it shakes out.
Hope you enjoyed that last video. Hop on over to statuscoup.com where you can sign up for our email list and become a member for as low as $5 to $10 a month. Membership is how we grow. That's statuscoup.com/join. And remember, join our email list so we can grow the revolution with you.